Hey everyone, Leanne here from Kingdom Bloggers. So today I want to share with you hopefully some encouragement and just food for thought as you navigate these new kind of murky waters of blogging that we've entered into. Google has just really kind of put a stop to a lot of us as far as growth. And it's not just in the faith niche. I mean, it's all niches have been impacted with the emergence of AI. People can just get a quick answer. And so Google search or organic search results, the future of it is really unknown. Like we don't know where it's going. But I know many of us, especially myself, included, who have lost significant traffic are thinking like, what's going on here? Like we've worked so hard to build this ministry up and to reach people. And now it's like, it's not gone, but it has been significantly cut down. Myself, I have three websites. All three of them have lost at least 50% of the organic traffic. So that's the Google traffic. My Kingdom site went from about 100 to 150,000, depending on the monthly views, down to maybe 40 something thousand. Now, a big portion of that was organic search. Of course, I have Pinterest and other avenues of traffic coming in, but it was a significant loss. And so, like what's going on? So this past Sunday, the message, my sermon at church, I do production. So I sit up in the booth and I click the little slides for announcements and I do stuff back there. So I get to really sit and take in the whole message. I don't have people sitting next to me, I don't, whatever. So it's nice and quiet. And so I'm sitting there listening. And honestly, I don't remember the entirety of the message because what I did take from it had nothing to do with what he was talking about. But he as he's going along, he starts reading one Bible verse. And as he's reading that, my mind just woke up and my little brain started like thinking like, oh my gosh, this is what's going on. And so the verse is John 15:21. And it says, he cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will bear even more fruit. So, how does taking away 50 to 60% of my traffic bear more fruit? Right? How am I going to bear more fruit if Google is broken, if Google's never going to give me the traffic that I had before? So this is where it got me thinking a little more deeply. Most of you know if you've been following me that I'm kind of testing out different platforms now. I'm really doubling down on Pinterest. Pinterest has always done well for me, but I am spending a little more effort there trying to learn how to kind of scale in that area. But also I'm focusing on Facebook, which I've never done before. And the cool thing is I've been doing it for 2 months now. And the results, I'm just like, oh my gosh, why wasn't I doing this all along? And so when you put it in the perspective of what we're doing as a whole, think about it. For since the beginning of my blogging career, it's always been about SEO. It's always been about Google, right? Reaching people via Google. And as a blogging coach myself, that's basically what I taught. Like, forget about the other things, just build your platform. And later on, you can start adding those things in time. So maybe God is telling us, look, you've tended this crop, like you've over tended this crop, Google being the crop, of course, and you've neglected all of this over here. And in modern times, like in 2024, the reality is people spend way more time on social media and in these other platforms, things that they can easily engage and get entertained from a phone than they do Googling something in which they have to read. Kind of funny if you think about it, people just don't like to read anymore. That's not to say that organic search will completely go away. I mean, people are still going to Google stuff. Well, honestly, they may not Google stuff because Google results are just getting ridiculous, but they will use search engines to ask questions. But the reality is, technology and the internet and everything, it's really kind of rewired our brains. We have shorter attention spans. We want quick answers. And more importantly, video has become a powerful tool in connecting with people. Like I said, people don't really like to read much anymore. On average, I'm not saying everybody, so don't come at me with, well, I still like to read. I'm just saying, as a whole, we are more in tune with watching short clips on Instagram or Facebook Reels or TikTok videos or YouTube than we are with reading a 2 to 3,000 word blog post. Now, of course, we may use that to search for ideas, but the video method of putting out content is actually much more powerful. More people are consuming it, but yet we've neglected it. And like I said, I am so guilty as a blogging coach that I've not taught this because I myself was just focused on Google. And so I, in my mind, of course, it's just the world according to Leanne, but it really, God spoke to me in this saying, look, I don't want you focused on Google anymore. Google's not dead, but Google is going that way. I want you to focus over here because this is where the people are. And we are called to go into the nations. We are called to go into where the people are. Into the nations isn't always literally going into another nation. You could translate nations to be just another place where people are who may have not heard the word, have not received salvation. And so in that capacity, the nations is the internet. We have access to the entire world through social media. And so what am I like, where am I going with all this? Okay, because like y'all know I kind of talk in circles sometimes. As I'm, finally getting over the morning, I'm at the end stage of my morning for losing all that traffic. But now I'm in this awaiting that, look, I have literally neglected these other crops. Y'all know I'm a gardener. And therefore, I've had no harvest from them. I've not done Facebook. I've not done any of the social platforms since I started this ministry, except for my Facebook groups, of course. And so God is telling me, I want you to start working there because that is where the people are. That is where they're spending more time. And that is where you're going to bear more fruit, which comes back around to that verse. He's pruning the organic side of it so that we will focus on creating more opportunities to bear fruit. And just a few examples. So, other than myself, I mean, I've talked in my previous videos about my Facebook growth. It's only been 2 months. I've gained, oh my gosh, over 2,500 followers on my Facebook group. But from a traffic standpoint, I haven't completely recovered the loss, but I'm slowly on my way up. The amount of traffic I'm getting from my Facebook page, and honestly, it's partly about the traffic, I'm not going to lie, but it's also about really meeting people and pouring into them and helping them grow in their relationship with God, introducing them to God, helping them better understand scripture. I ask certain types of questions, and the comments that I get are people truly seeking answers, not just randomly commenting on stuff like how do I study the Bible better? Where are some really good resources for me to learn the Bible if I'm super busy with kids and all these things? And so it's provided an opportunity that I really didn't have before, because in a Google search, they find your website, they read it, they might join your email list, but that's kind of the end of your relationship with them. Through social media, once they start following you and really consuming your content, you start building that relationship. They get to know you, you get to know them, but more importantly, you get to pour into them, which is the whole point of what we do. It's not about the money. It's not about the followers. It's not about the numbers. I mean, it kind of is because we want to save more people, but it's about really helping people grow stronger in their walk with God, or having a walk with God for that matter. And so to me, it has just been mind blowing. Like, duh, Leanne, why didn't you do this before? But I was so hyper focused on the Google aspect of it, on the SEO. SEO honestly became our idol. Like I'm on a Bible reading plan right now in my email list, and this month on social media, and it's about modern idols. Truth be told, SEO and Google had become an idol in the blogging kind of atmosphere environment for me and for most bloggers, most Christian bloggers. So God was like, no, no more. I'm taking it away from you because I want you to go over here. One of my friends, Rachel, she has struggled with her. She never did well with Google. She has had problem after problem after problem. She'd start going up and then it'd crash. Her website had all kind of issues. I mean, she has really struggled, but she kept at it and at it and at it. And this year, she finally was like, okay, we talked, and I was like, maybe God doesn't want you doing that. Maybe He wants you over here. And this was before the pruning message at my church. This was months ago, earlier in the year. And so she really started doubling down on her YouTube channel. And she just shared this week how she had one video, which, by the way, when she published this video, there was like a mistake in it. There's like a blank spot that she forgot to cut out. That video ended up being her number one video with 11,000 views to that video. Okay. And so that was her moment of like, oh my gosh, God didn't want me over there. He pruned all that from me because He wanted me here to make an impact in the YouTube space. I have another friend, actually two, who are really doing well through their email list. They've been focusing on organic traffic. So now they're just like, I'm done with that. I'm just going to take what I already have and really focus on sharing that with my email community in an impactful way. And the emails weren't always just about sending links. I mean, it's really about pouring into the people. And now the amount of return replies, whatever you want to call it, from those emails, as well as the blog traffic from those emails, is going up. I have another one. She is really focusing on creating Bible studies for her Etsy shop. And she had shared with us this week how like that is just growing. Now that she's spending more time creating the stuff, like she had been putting it off for so long because she works, like she has a normal job outside of blogging. And so she only has limited amount of time to actually work on her ministry. And so all of that time was spent on SEO tasks, right? And she had been putting off creating her shop and creating these digital products. And so finally she's like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to forget about SEO for a little while. She just shared with us how her Etsy shop is just doing great and she's starting to make more sales. And so that was really encouraging for her. So all that to say, everyone, because I'm talking in circles, I feel, is just think about that. I know many of you, some of you at least, Google's still being nice to you, and that is so great. I'm so happy for you. I would just encourage you to be mindful of not continuing to make SEO the primary focus. At this point in the game, we definitely want to start branching out. Again, people are in the social space more than they are any other place. And so it is important that we get connected in those areas because that is where we're going to start seeing more fruit. And what that looks like for you will be different than me. For me right now, it is Facebook. Funny story with Pinterest. I'm really doubling down on Pinterest. I'm, diving in really deep to see where I can scale it. Pinterest has always been great for me. I get anywhere from 10 to 12 to up to 16,000 visits a month from Pinterest to my main website. But I want to replace that lost Google traffic. And so I'm just diving in, learning a bunch of stuff. And I actually started looking at the comments on my Pinterest pins. I avoided that because, Pinterest is always coming up with new crazy stuff and then it works for a while and then they take it away because but I was like, let's see what these people are saying in there. They were actually asking me questions, the same as they were on my Facebook page. Like, I had a pin for like one of my monthly reading plans. I don't remember which month it was, like March or something. And the comment was, these are great. Where can I get them for the whole year? And so it offered me the opportunity to put a link in return to the page on my site that houses all 12 of them for the year. And so I was going through all the comments and many of them were just like, amen, or thanks so much, or whatever. But there were quite a few that were actually asking me questions and I totally neglected them because I never ventured into that space. And so now I am looking in every nook and cranny within anything that's considered social. I mean, Pinterest isn't social media, but it's a social platform. It comes with an app. So if it comes with an app, I'm investigating further to see where I can get some more buds growing, some more blooms happening so that I can bear more fruit in those spaces as it pertains to the ministry. So That's all. I just wanted to share this with you guys today. I know many of you have been struggling, those of you who lost significant traffic, or those of you who just aren't getting anywhere. Maybe this is God just saying, I don't want you there. I want you over here. Figure out what that is, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Pinterest, whether it's YouTube, whether it's digital products, TikTok. Flipboard looks promising, but I think that's going to take a while to actually build the momentum needed for significant traffic. But there's so many social spaces, and I'm not saying go out there and be in all of them because I know you only have so much time. But I think now is the time that we sort of put SEO on hold, so to speak. I mean, you should still write good, solid content, but write that content more for people who might find it in a social space versus just for SEO. And I think from there, you're going to start seeing more fruit. So that's all I have today. If you have any questions, drop those comments, or of course, hop over to my Facebook group. I would love to help you over there. And as always, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye.